Okay, so now we're going to talk about the WooCommerce general settings. Now, depending on your theme, there are some integrations with WooCommerce on your actual theme customizer now. So before I go into the options, I just kind of want to remind you that if you go to customize and you go to WooCommerce, you do have additional settings right here. Now, these can also be accessed on the back end. So it's just, this is just for letting you know that they actually recently added this. So if you guys want a store notice right here, you guys can actually add a store notice and then it'll appear on the bottom of your page. Also, product catalogs. These again can also be displayed on the back end. So if you want to show products, product categories, or show product and categories, you can do that as well. I'm going to actually go through all of the options to make sure you guys understand this. So I'm just going to go ahead and publish this and click on X. All right, and then right here, I'm gonna go to my dashboard. Now I'm gonna go to WooCommerce and go to settings. Okay, so right here is our general settings. Okay, so right here, you're gonna put your address and make sure that the address is working properly because depending on what you put in there, it's going to tax and ship your rates accordingly. So that's if you're using the automated taxes, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. Right here, you have general options. So right here, we have selling locations. So where do you want to sell it to? So if you want to sell to a specific country, you can do to, sell to specific countries and then go ahead and put it in. Or if you want to sell to all countries, you can leave it there. You can sell to all countries except for, and then let's say you don't want to sell to, we'll select Antarctica, it's saying, hey, we don't want to sell anything to Antarctica. You can go ahead and restrict that. So if someone from Antarctica tries to buy something from your website, it's going to restrict it. So right here, we have also shipping locations. So ship to all countries or, ship to countries you sell to. And then right here, ship to specific countries only. So right here, let's just say I only want to sell to the United States, the UK, and Canada. So if someone from a country outside of the UK, Canada, or the US tries to purchase your product, it's going to restrict them as well, okay? But that is only if you want, if you want to ship to specific countries, okay? If you want to set that up, you're more than welcome to, or you can just go ahead and disable shipping and, that for everything as well, if you want to disable shipping and shipping calculations. But I'm just gonna go to ship to countries that you sell to because that makes the most sense. Right here, if you want to enable taxes, you can go ahead and enable taxes right here. The currency option, which probably most of you won't select. Basically, if you want to put your dollar to the left or to the right, you can do that. But generally, the dollar symbol goes to the left, right? That's pretty standard. Right here, I'm going to go to Save Changes. And then, of course, you guys can use these. But this is very technical, like a decimal, like 1,000 separator. So let's say it costs $1,000. You want a comma, right? Like that makes most sense because people use commas. I don't even know why they have these options, to be honest, because it's like, duh, like, yeah, 1,000, you put 1,000. But that's just, an example of it. So that's basically letting you know what's going on. So anyways, that is the general section. Next, we have products. Now, again, depending on your theme, this can kind of contradict. But let's just go ahead and go through some of these. So right here, we have the products and we have the shop page. So where is the shop page? Well, it's usually the one that selects by default. Now, there is something that I want to talk about that what happens if your pages do not generate with WooCommerce when you install the WooCommerce plugin. You guys can actually go to WooCommerce. I will leave a link in the description and you actually put a short code and that short code will actually create the section for WooCommerce. All right, so if you basically started WooCommerce and nothing happened or nothing created, such as your shop page, I will leave an article in the description where you can simply just grab the short code, paste it, and everything is all good. So right here we have add to cart behavior. So redirect to the cart page after a successful addition. I would never have that checked because that would be really annoying if you had something to the cart and it checked them and then you want to go back and buy something else. It's going to keep redirecting you back and forth. That would be totally annoying. So right here we have weight units. So if you want to select pounds, grams, or ounces, depending on what you sell, you can select that there. Dimension units, like I said, it's different in each country. So right here you have meters, centimeters, millimeters, inches, and yards. You can also enable product reviews. If you don't want product reviews, you can always disable that. If you want to enable them, you would click on that. And then right here, reviews can only be left by verified owners, which is actually pretty good. That makes the most sense. So that means only people who have purchased that product can leave reviews. Enable star rating system. Yes, I'm gonna go ahead and click on save changes. So those are pretty self-explanatory. Also here for the inventory. So enable stock management. Now, if you leave this checked right here, it's gonna delete everything. Now, what that does is, let's say, for example, that you have a certain amount of quantity. Let's just say you only have like 30 products. So at 10 products right here out of the low stock threshold, it's going to notify you via email saying, hey, Daryl, you're running short on these products. So if you want, I'm just letting you know that your products are running low, right? Now, let's just say your products completely run out. So I'm going to put 2. So this kind of gives you like a emergency stash. So at 2 products left, you're going to get an email saying you're out of notifications or you're out of stock completely. Daryl, go buy some more shirts. So this is basically if you are selling a lot of products. So remember, low stock threshold means that it's going to warn you. Out of stock threshold means it's going to tell you you have no more. Out of stock availability. So hide out of stock items from the catalog. Now that is up to you. So if you do run out of items, let's say you have 0, do you want it to hide it from the catalog to prevent back orders? If you want, you can select it. If not, you can, uncheck it. Stock display format. So right here, you can always, 12 in stock, only 2 left in stock, which is pretty cool because that basically, creates a sense of urgency to buy the product, or you can never show the quantity of stock. So this is basically just saying how many you have left next to the product, okay? Basically, that's a quick rundown of the inventory. So that's pretty self-explanatory. This is the email it goes to. Hold stock. So this will hold stock for a certain amount of minutes. When the time limit is reached, the pending order will be canceled. Okay, so make sure to set that accordingly right here. Okay. Now let's go to downloadable products. Okay, so we have the file download method. We can do forced downloads. We can do redirect only or XXL. Now I'm pretty sure most of you are going to use XXL. If you guys don't know what these are, just simply don't check them. Just leave forced downloads. And also, downloads require login. That's up to you. And grants access to downloads purchased after payment. So when it says require login, so let's say, for example, you allowed guest checkout. Well, then it might not work. But it says right here, this setting does not apply to guest purchases. So I guess that would make sense. But I would not leave that checked because if someone decides not to make an account, the option could possibly not work. So I would just go ahead and leave it like that and click on Save Changes. Now that is only for downloadable products, okay? So we're going to skip shipping or skip tax. We're going to skip shipping and checkout. We will actually talk about checkouts a little bit later at the end of the tutorial. That is basically for options of PayPal and Stripe. All right, so we'll put these in different categories. Let's go to accounts. All right, so our accounts right here, we have your account page. Again, if your account page never created, simply use the short code. Again, that link is in the description of this video. It's a short code that you will need for WooCommerce. So right here, enable customer registration on checkout, enable customer registration on my account page. Sure, why not? That's pretty standard. You can go ahead and automatically generate a customer password. Automatically create a username from the customer email, which is helpful because that will actually make it faster for the customer to purchase. And then right here we have different URLs. So if you want to change the URL for anything, you can go ahead and do that here. I would personally leave this standard because permalinks can be a little messy. But for example, on the orders page, if you want to change the dash shop dash orders, you can do like orders 1, 2, 3 or whatever you want. I would generally leave this standard, but you are more than welcome to change the permalinks for your store as well. So right here, I'm going to go to Save Changes. Next, we have emails. All right, so right here we have our emails. So right here it says from name, and then I put the shop. So right here we have from address, and that is the email that I selected. And right here, it says, click here to view your email template. So if I click on this right here, it's going to give you an example of how this looks. So where do you actually put your logo at? Well, right here, you would put the link from your media file. So let me explain how that works. I'm gonna click on Save Changes and show you all. Now, if you do need a logo, there is a website I recommend called Fiverr.com. The link is in the description of this video. You guys can use that to get a logo. And again, if you guys aren't using SiteGround hosting, I totally recommend it because you get free SSLs for every domain that you create. So over here under Media, I'm gonna go to Library and simply go ahead and select, what's it called? I'm gonna go ahead and select this right here. So this URL right here, see this URL right here? I'm gonna go ahead and copy this. This is the URL that you need. So remember, you must first upload the image onto your library by clicking on that. And then once you do that, we're gonna go back to our WooCommerce and go to Settings. I'm gonna go to my emails. And then right here, I'm gonna go ahead and, well, first I'll preview it to show you an example. So I got rid of the logo, but now if I add the header image right there, it's going to actually show up like that. And then I click on Save Changes. And then right here, I click on Preview Email Template, and then voila, the logo is right there. Right here, you can change the base color. So again, right here is the base color. Here, you can add a background color to it. So for example, I added this background color to it, and then a body background color, and then the body text color as well. So this is basically where you customize everything. And you can give an example, you can see an example of these emails. So right here, a new order. So really quickly to understand this, where it says recipients right here, recipients, I don't know how to pronounce that. This will go to you. So when you get a new order, a canceled order, or a failed order, this is gonna go to your email. When a customer buys something, such as a processing on hold, completed, refunded, reset password or whatever, this is going to the customer. So let's just go ahead and click on one. Let's just click on a customer note. Remember customer note when they purchase a product, we can add the customer notes. That's basically, where you would add it. So that's basically where it is. So right here, you can add an email heading to it, or you can add a subject, or you can just leave it as default. And then, you leave it as standard if you want. You can view the template, but this is an HTML template. So to do this, you might need a developer to help you out. But if you want to go ahead and add a subject or an email heading, you can do that as well. Or it will give you the default options, which are totally good. And I would definitely recommend leaving these standard, not unless you know HTML. So again, you can always check on the, you can configure it right here, and then, decorate it to how you want it to look. Okay. So that is an example of the emails that you can send out. So again, that's how you decorate it. They do have like plugins on how to make it a little bit better. So also for the footer text, you can actually put something on the bottom right there. So right here I have Daryl Wilson, but you can put something else like the best shop store, or whatever you want to put, and that will appear at the footer section as well. Okay, so if I go over here to view the template, it's going to now show the best shop store ever. Okay, so that's pretty self-explanatory, pretty simple stuff. Okay, so for API, we are not going to use the REST API and webhooks and keyhooks because probably most of you aren't developers, so you probably won't end up using it. Okay, so that was basically a quick rundown, guys, of these settings. So really quickly, let's go through some of these tabs right here. So first off, the extensions. Now they do have something like, products, bookings, memberships, subscriptions, and everything else. Now I have tutorials on every single WooCommerce plugin out there. So if you guys want to learn how to use those plugins, the links are in the description of this video. Like product add-ons are good, checkout add-ons. You guys can just kind of understand these and read them. You can purchase them from here. There's other sites you can buy them from. So if you guys want, you guys can check out my tutorial on each of these plugins. They're pretty good. They're pretty helpful. Status right here, this gives you a status. Generally, when you have problems with WooCommerce or you need help, they're going to ask you for a lot of this stuff right here, like the system report and everything. So this stuff is generally for like logs. It's for WooCommerce services, and it's basically for the WooCommerce team if you have support. So that's basically what these tabs are right here. Right here, we have the report section. So this just basically gives you an idea of how much money you're making. So I have a test set up right here for Stripe. So you guys can see an example right here. I made $410. You guys can check it by year, by month, etc. This stuff right here is pretty self-explanatory. You can see the customers, you can see like the stock, so what's being sold. And of course, you guys can also see like the taxes and everything else if you've set that up on your website. So it's just another way for you guys to kind of like, look at your, out of stock, low stock, most stock, whatever, you need right there. So this is like the report section. So whenever you make sales or stock or taxes or customers, this is where you're going to go. Okay. So that is the report section. Now let's do coupons. So I'm going to show you how to create your first coupon right now.